Yeah, I thought so. G'day, well, Macaron coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast. We're here at the morning pitch sort of Q&A panel with Script.
Yep.
How you doing today, Elaine?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we've just had a fantastic morning on the Script panel. So talking about all things innovation and entrepreneurship, because the two always go hand in hand. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Great energy in the room. Some really diverse businesses that were represented here today as well, and you know, really diverse age groups. You know, from I've seen a lot more mature people here today, which has been fantastic, because often, you know, the subject of innovation tends to attract in the youngsters, but no, it's been wonderful to see such a diverse group on the Sunshine Coast.
Great. And I know you have to catch a plane very soon, so we'll keep it nice and short and sweet. So what were some of the key takeaways for you being on the panel and hearing the different questions coming from the audience?
Yeah, I think the feeling on the coast is that, you know, the coast, I think, is punching above its weight when it comes to innovation and entrepreneurship. And I just love the ambition. You know, everybody that's in the room is really wanting to find better ways of doing things. And I think just by the attendance today, you can see that intention that they want to become that kind of Silicon Valley of Australia. And you can see it can really happen. And I think everyone gets really energized by attending these events, because they say you're learning new things, you're networking, and that's how we will do it. You know, that's how we'll elevate innovation and entrepreneurship on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah. And so what would be one of the key questions that sort of got you really thinking?
Oh, I think, you know, there was a question towards the end which was about, you know, what's the kind of technology of 2020, which isn't that far away when we think about it. It's a couple of years away. You know, what's that going to be all about? But I think, you know, technology for us is going to be solving the big problems. When you think about big problems, you know, in Australia, it's not necessarily going to be about just more apps. It's going to be about, you know, how do we, you know, fix the health problem in Australia? And I think that's where, you know, innovation and technology is going to take us that next level. You know, for the first time ever, I heard the other day that the babies being born now will have a shorter life expectancy than the population that I'm in, so in demographic that I'm in. So I think that's horrendous, and I just hope that, you know, technology becomes part of our solution for that.
Cool. And to finish this up, because I know you've got to go, what would be, from your experience and your journey, from living in different places? You mentioned on the panel that you got to live in some pretty unique environments, third world countries. Is that correct?
Yep.
So what would be your some of your advice from your learnings in those unique entrepreneurial environments?
Yeah, I think for Australia, the biggest challenge that Australia has with innovation is it's just not uncomfortable enough. Everything's a bit too easy for us, as opposed to being in Africa or in Asia, where there's a real need, desire, and motivation to make improvements because they want a better life. So I think for us here, it's about, you know, finding that motivation and perhaps dreaming a bit bigger, you know, wanting to solve some of the big problems. I know when I heard Steve Baxter speak before, he talked about, you know, the iPhone tiles, and that Australia doesn't own any of the tiles that's on the main screen. And I think that's because we just don't necessarily think big enough, because we're not motivated as much. I don't know, maybe we all want to go and sit on the beach or something. But so I think that would be my advice, is to think big, you know, to really challenge it out there, and to, you know, to get enough motivation out there to do what it's going to take to get those big innovations happening.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no worries.
And good luck with your flight.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys keep watching for more coming to you live at facebook.com/Speaks to You Live. See ya.